Hey Snapchat, today I'm going to give you some specific techniques for how to build relationship with VCs when you're not fundraising. But first I need to make one thing really clear. VCs want to know smart, knowledgeable founders as much as you want to know them. The key thing for you to remember is what you're trying to do is actually build a relationship, a two-way relationship. Remember yesterday I said it's much easier to raise money when people know you over time and can judge your performance, the goods and the bads. I call it lines not dots because I can judge our relationship based on a series of things that you've done or commitments that you've made to me or I've made to you. It's just as important for an entrepreneur to know a VC over time as it is for a VC to know an entrepreneur over time. But everyone has this idea that VCs are so busy that they're inaccessible, that you can't meet them unless you're in fundraising season. Of course, it's true to a degree. We are crazy busy, but so are you. So here's the thing to think about. As a VC, we need to learn new things and meet new people. How do we do that? If you can help me learn new things and short circuit because you have knowledge that I don't have, I'm all yours. If you can help me meet new people that are both fun and relevant to me and going to be helpful to me, I'm all yours. So the basic premise I would start with is you have to be knowledgeable and you have to know people that are interesting. But if you have those, it's super easy to network. If you treat a VC like somebody you're building a relationship with rather than someone you're selling to, it'll be 1,000 times easier. The number one reason it'll be easier is your relationship will be authentic, not based on false premises. So the first thing I want to cover is dinner with founders because it's absolutely the easiest thing you can do to build a relationship with VCs. Find 2 or 3 founders that you think are really interesting that a VC or 2 might like to meet. It's always best if you can book a private room in a restaurant and make sure it's somewhere quiet where you can actually have a group discussion. 8 to 12 people is the perfect number. If you land 2 or 3 interesting people, then you ping 1 or 2 VCs, get them to commit to coming to that dinner with you. Tell them I'm hosting a dinner with a bunch of interesting entrepreneurs and I would really like if you'd consider attending and coming to meet some of them. Once you get the first 2 or 3 nailed and then nail a VC, then it's easier to invite 5, 6, 7 other people to join, especially once you get the date locked down with the VC. Your job as the person doing the inviting is to come up with table topics in advance, and you want a chaired discussion. If you simply turn up and let everyone talk to the 2 people to their right or left, you haven't added that much value. If you do nothing more than invite a VC, have 8 or 10 people around the table in a really nice discussion, you've made huge headroom in your relationship. Don't assume it makes you best buddies with the VC like anybody you're networking with. Go slowly, build your relationship over time. No one wants to go from one dinner to feeling like you're BFFs overnight, and I've seen people do it. It's coming on too strong. Number 2, if you happen to be involved with events where you can invite people to be speakers or podcasts, that's a great way to get to know somebody. Why not partner up with a conference and say to them, hey, can I help you book a few speakers for your event? Now you have a pretext to reach out to VCs, and if they say yes, in the preparation, you have a chance to build a lightweight relationship with them. Again, it's just one dot. It's just one set of relationship. Don't suddenly turn a dialogue in how to prep for a conference into being BFFs. Number 3, what do you know that the VC doesn't know? Do you have data, facts, figures, and details that they would like to know? Don't overwhelm them, but there's nothing wrong than sending a PDF file with a presentation to a VC to say, hey, I wrote up some analysis just in case you're interested. These are just marketing techniques. If you come on too strong, you won't build a relationship. Your job is just to engage. The easiest thing for VCs to commit to is 5 minutes at a conference. Here's how to do it. If you don't know the VC very well, then asking them, hey, can I grab coffee with you or lunch with you while they're at a conference may be too much of a commitment. If you say, hey, I noticed we were at the same conference. Could I get just 5 minutes of your time? I want to run one idea by you at the conference. And I have a couple of data points I'd love to share with you that I think you might find interesting, but I only need 5 minutes. We're both going to be busy. Number 5, does the VC you know keep a blog? Writing the odd comment on their blog is a very good way to start building a relationship. Don't write big, long paragraphs, just nice, poignant responses to their blog posts. It doesn't have to be on every one of their blog posts, but from time to time is good. If you write a blog and people comment about your blog over time, over a year, over 2 years, you get to know the names. Equally, maybe they don't have a blog, but maybe they post stuff on Twitter, messaging them back with a small comment. It's not terrible. If you do it daily, you'll be a creep if you don't really know them. But if you get to know them over time, the odd comment or two is a decent thing to do. Don't assume that the first or second time you comment, they're necessarily going to remember who you are. But trust me, if you occasionally comment on people on social media over time and say smart and clever things or share information, they'll remember. These are all just touch points. These are just lightweight ways to get on people's radar screens and get to know them over time. And yes, of course, coffee does work, but every entrepreneur asks for coffee. So here's how you can stand out when you ask for coffee. Hey, I'm going to be in your neighborhood. Do you mind if I bring you Phil's coffee? If I promise I'm only going to stay for 10 minutes, here's why. I have one really interesting insight on machine learning that I'd like to share with you and get your feedback on. I'm not coming to pitch you. My goal is really just to share this insight with you because I really want to learn from other people who have this expertise. If you make it like they don't have to do a major time commitment and you're not looking for a check, if you're coming to give before you get because you have something on offer that they may find interesting, they may not say yes, but it's infinitely easier to. And if you don't come on too strongly, even when they do say no, they've registered in the back of their mind, okay, I kind of owe that person. So maybe 6 months later you ask again, maybe it's a meeting at a conference, and they sort of remember that they didn't take that coffee meeting. Reciprocity helps. VCs are humans. They want to have new relationships. They want to meet new interesting people. They want to learn new things. But they get bombarded by so many people all the time, and the overwhelming majority of people are A, not interesting, and B, don't have insights. So if over time you build authentic relationship based on knowledge and trust, you'll do great at building VC relationships. And most will never invest in your company, but VCs are some of the most connected and helpful and smart people I know. And they actually want to be helpful. So here's my final pro tip. If you do build a relationship with a VC over time, even if they're not going to invest in your company, here's one thing you may get out of it. If you have built at least a basic relationship and you needed introduction, maybe not even to a VC, but to a corporate or a founder, a simple ask to a VC to say, hey, I know you know this guy at LinkedIn. Would it be inconvenient to ask for an connection to that person? VCs love to help, and they're super connectors, and they generally don't mind getting you introduction. So go get them.